Hello? I'm back. Okay. Anyway, let me go look up how far is the horizon. Kilometer. Ah, yes, I'd like to go to Horizon Cannabis Recreational Dispensary. Here's my precise GPS location. Thanks, Google. I appreciate that. I wanted to know that. That's where I was trying to go, in fact. Um, 5 kilometers. Horizon on Wikipedia. Okay, what's the typical one though? What? The square root of 13 height in meters is your kilometers? For an observer with eye level above sea level by 1.8 meters, the horizon is at a distance of about 4.8 kilometers. Okay. So let's say... Alright, so I just say 5. So I do 5 times 5. Right. I scale it. Okay, so it's... If I want this to be 5 kilometers out in both directions, that's the important thing. If I want this to be 5 kilometers out in both directions, I think for one, that means I probably need to scale this down because I'm going to be widening it back out pretty hard. Okay, let me think of this. Yeah, okay. Let me do this. Delete this. Let's go back to 1. I reset you. Duplicate. You can go to 1023. 1023. I'll make this 5 so I can just see it better. All right. Where is it? That is so hard to see. Okay. I'm here. 1024. Strength 100, height 60. Okay. So I'm going to treat this as if I'm going to have it be 5 kilometers out. I could actually even treat it like it's going to be 6 kilometers out. So there's some math here that I need to do, but I'm trying to figure out what the scaling means. So if I want something to appear to be 180 meters tall, you know, let's say times 4. What if I want to appear 200 meters tall? Wait, that is 50 times 4 is 200. 200. 60 times 4. Why did I think that was 180? I'm stupid. That's 240. Yeah, I'll stick with 60. So I want it to appear 240 meters tall. Yep, I want it to appear 200 meters tall. 240 meters tall. Then I'm going to crush that down by a factor of 4, which means I need to take that height down 60 meters. And then I'm going to expand it back out from 512 to... Right, because the whole thing will be, yeah, the whole thing will be 512 meters across at this point. I want to expand that back out so that the halfway point is 5 kilometers in. Which means if I want the borders, can I just do the math? So this would be, so I'm at 2048. I divide this by 4, so I'm at 512. So that means 60 times 4, it now appears at 240 meters tall. So then what I'm saying is, what operation do I need to apply to the camera transform, the virtual camera transform, to make sure that the whole area, the 512, so that 512 looks like, I mean, if it's 5 kilometers, I need that 5 kilometers on both sides of me, so I need 10,000 meters. So I needed to be about essentially this scale. So if I say 512 times 20, that's pretty close. Okay. So now the camera, if I move 1 meter, the camera moves a 20th of a meter. So now it appears that the mountain is 20 times taller than that. So now 60 meters appears to be that tall. That might be too tall. Play some Hatsune Miku. Nope. Nope. That's gotta be super copyrighted. Okay, so I don't think I want it to appear 1.2 kilometers tall. That seems insane. So if I know the factor is going to be 50 at the end, I can now reconsider this. So if I say I want it to appear 240 meters tall, let's go crazy. Let's say I want it to appear 500 meters tall, divided by 20. So now I need to make the whole terrain 25 meters tall. The tallest point. Which, now that I say the tallest point, it makes me realize what I'm really doing here. The tallest... I close the image. The tallest point... I'm going to fix this, put this on like a better web page or something. It's not super dark. Sure. All right, let me just type in 100 and see what comes out. See what height I get out of this. Nothing happened. What? Is it because there's no region here? Oh, there's no region here. There we go. So at 100 meters, this mountain appears to be... This mountain appears to be... what's like the tallest bit? I think it's this. This bit right here. I'll round that up to 80. Alright, so it appears to be 80 meters tall. Well, actually, relative to you, it would appear to be... What was this? 77 minus 16? Is that right? I'll say 78 minus 16. I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to do the math. Alright, so I say... If I type in 100... I guess 64? 60? So I want it... But then this is going to be times 20, right? Oh. Wait. If at the normal scale it looks like that... I think I've done the math wrong. This doesn't seem right. I mean, no, that is correct. If it's 60 meters to go up from there, it's going to appear 20 times larger than that. No way. Okay. Think. It appears times 4, 240 meters. Times 4. It's been stretched out, scaled down, and now I'm just taking that and I'm scaling it vertically and horizontally when I put it in the sky. I'm scaling it both directions. When I'm bringing it down to a quarter size, the height appears to be the same. Well, no. Is it supposed to be like a quarter? What the hell is going on? Alright, I have a 512 zone. I scale it down. Or I have a 512 terrain. 512 meters on both sides, or just 512 meters across, and from where you are standing, it'll appear to be 62 meters above you. Then I scale that up to 20x. So 1 meter moved in the real space is a 20th of a meter moved in that space, which now makes it appear a kilometer above you. Kilometer tall. Okay. So, let's say I want it to actually appear 800 meters above you. 600 meters above you. But divide that by 20. That means I need the distance between the low point and that high point to be 30 meters. Okay? So, if I were just cut it in half, so it'd be 78 divided by 2, be 35 to reach 70. 39. 39 minus 8. Okay. So scaling it to 100 gives me 62. Scaling it to 50 will give me about 30. So I did 100, 100. So scaling it to 50 should give me about what I'm looking for. You know what? Let me just go a little bit more than that. 55. Okay. All right. And now I take the whole terrain, bring it down to 0.25. All right. And now, if I put myself at clip marker, I'll go ahead and make this the clip target. This should probably be like 8 meters now. Okay. Okay. So now that should appear to be relative to where I'm standing. Whoa. Nine meters. $43. So I got 34 meters. But if I'm multiplying that by 20, it appears to be 680 meters above me. Blast this one. Danlin. I swear. Okay, sure. Yep. Whoa! That's some quality right there. All right. Okay, so now technically that appears that tall. Jeez, I don't know if I can do it. Dude, I don't know if I can let this one play. The audio quality is really, really terrible. Okay. Oh. I don't think that was YouTube's fault. I don't think this was YouTube's fault. Okay, so I want to get a gauge on the height around here. So this is all lower. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and make this all like yeah. I don't know, man. It's too crushed. It's just too crushed. I can't listen to it. Thank you, I tried. It's too crushed. It's way too crushed. Alright, so save. It used to sound better. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Can I not make this limit itself to like... Because I don't want to start pulling things down, but I am pulling things down. Yeah, I'm pulling things down right there. What's this one? Okay. That's crazy. I guess it's a no? Yeah, it's a no. You guess. You know that it's a no. You know what you're sending me. You know, I think I probably turn on a height map debug view so I can see this better. It's pretty hard to see. Here we go. There we go. Alright, cool. Whole area flattened. And now this area over here is a problem. This is just too high. So what I'm thinking I might do is I might actually just try using... Hopefully if like... Okay, I'm going to reload scene. Actually, I'm going to... Let me do this. There we go. Okay. So I've got that saved in its current state. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at one of these, I guess some of these terrains, and then I just want to like crush it. I think 3 might be pretty good. 3 might do it. Right, so then I will sample, I guess, the height around here, so I'll say 16, and then I'll do strength 80, and then I'm just going to, well, actually I guess I should just go to 0, and then strength 80 should leave 20 meters there, and I'm just gonna click, right on top of this. Blam. A little too intense. I think. I guess I could also just try lowering it manually. So I could get the circle and do bam. Okay. 100. Right. It's definitely too intense though. Turn that off. Yeah, I'm getting this line around it, which sucks. Yeah, that's weird. This line is forming around it. Increasing the gamma should drop that. Should make it sharper. Alright, close to the line, kind of went away. It's good. And then this one, honestly, I think I probably just want to like obliterate this one. So... yeah, it's gotta be like really small. But I am getting the line there. Okay. Let's go larger. 50 meters. A live internet theory? What are you doing, man? Stop messing with me. You're messing with me. You're trolling me. Alright, I think maybe I just smooth this. Maybe I do just actually smooth this. No, maybe I can get let's try terrain this one. And one click. Okay, kind of the issue is that I'm actually just crushing it harder. It's kind of the real issue. I'm actually just making it more extreme. All right, let me try this. Let me just try going in super manual mode. And doing that. And then I suppose smoothing it. By smoothing it. And then dropping it further. This is difficult to get rid of this. Alright, you know what? I might have the idea. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flatten this out really hard and then paint like 2 more mountains here, because this is definitely someone went in here and was like, what if we just had this crazy spine here? I was like, what if I actually just left the crazy spine? What if I just did that? What if I went in here, I did git, restore, and then I reload scene. And it should just come back. Hey, it's back. What if I just leave that? What if I just leave that there? What if I do a little bit of smoothing around these parts? Because they are a bit nuts. I will do a little bit, a very small amount. It's really just because the LOD really messes with this part. It really chops that up and makes it look bad. The bigger mountain kind of holds up a little bit. Whoops, what just happened? Yeah, even this, I think I probably need to smooth this out a bit. It's actually just kind of too crazy. Yeah, I mean, look how chopped up that gets. Will your game have backwards long jump? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Bring it back. I need to be more careful with the smoothing. This part is so insane. What if I did tessellation? What if I did tessellation? Would that help with this? Because I think tessellation also affects distance. I don't see anything changing over there. Yeah, that's only up close. I don't know. Is there a way I can get that to look nice at this distance? Without losing all of my FPS? Do you think the bus driver? Yes. I did. When I did take buses. Like to school. You can make it nice by removing it and building a mall there. Yeah. Okay. And I think I probably need to move this marker out. In fact, like way over here. Okay. You mean honestly, like if I imagine it, where the map goes, the map like actually does fit in here really well. Like that could be the 0 coordinate, and I can just like, I can visualize the map just being here. Just right there. All right. Mr. Lamborghini. What? All right, so now I imagine if I take this down a bit. Why does that cost like 200 to render these? Actually, you know what I probably do is actually just probably draw holes right here. That's probably what I should do. I think I draw holes in this area. Because it's all flat terrain and it doesn't need to be rendered. I mean, actually, if I, hang on. If I just take a plane and I just throw a plane in here, would that have been better than messing with the terrain? Just throw in a plane. Flip marker. I'm just trying to get it to be in the same location. Cool. Yeah, instant 50 FPS just by drawing this plane here. That's crazy. Okay. Bring it to 9. So it should be sitting above the terrain. I mean, yeah, I think I actually just draw holes. I should just draw holes in the terrain. So I'm going to turn... Actually, a hole is a control thing. It doesn't actually delete terrain. Not big enough. Not big enough? What's going on? There we go. Whoa. All right. I think I think what I need to do is I need to bring this back out to 1 so I can actually paint these holes correctly. Where are we at? Way over here. There we go. Because otherwise it's just, I'm like deleting the holes. Like, look how precise I can be. All right, but show me height map. All right, yep. So I just should cut out like everything in here that's everything in here that's black should be cut out. And that should free up a ton of FPS. And then the real idea is that I make it so that after the scaling happens in the camera, that they're seamless at the edges. So then I just come back to the holes and like, I get the terrain set to where I want it to be, and then I come back in here and I remove some of these holes. Or I just like cut them so that they're seamless with it. That will be the idea. Okay. And I guess in theory I could also remove pieces out here that will never be visible to further benefit FPS, but I think it's fine for now. Yeah, that's so much more FPS there. Now I'm at 300. That's great. Cool. Okay. All right, here's something I actually kind of forgot about. That's actually high enough to cast shadows. That's actually high enough to cast shadows. All right, well, I'm just gonna say that that's good enough. I'm just gonna make the normal terrain now. How, man? Shadows are difficult. How can I make it so that that renders super big? Could I just make it so that the terrain 3D like actually has a scale applied to it? Would that work? So then I'm actually going to scale it up 20x, like literally. Then I could get shadows if the geometry was really there. Let me see that. Let me see if I can sit here focused on this guy and just type in 20 times scale in this. Okay, so it instantly sets it back to 0. Or to 1. I can make it so the vertices multiply 20. I just take their position and multiply by 20. I could do that. Visually, it shouldn't look any different until I start moving the camera, and then you'd see that it's very different. Where was lightweight? Super lightweight. Big FPS boost. Now, I'm going to go general. I'm going to say uniform, float. Does it appear? It appears. So if I just go in here, the vertex, and I just multiply the final result by 20. Okay. All right, so I just type in 20 here. It shouldn't look different. I think it shouldn't look different. And it's gone. Oh my god. Okay. No, that makes sense. That actually does make sense. I just have to move the camera over there. Why is it disappearing? Okay. Okay. So I guess not quite. All right. Because I think this is also doing... What? All right, so what I would really like to do is like actually translate everything out by 20x. I guess that would be the same thing as setting vertex spacing. But then I have issues with the height not working. Export the height map and re-import it with a new height scale. What are you talking about, re-import? That doesn't... You can't do that. Wait, or can you? Oh wait, these are varying. Oh. Alright, let's just say... multiply this by vertex scale. Multiply this by vertex scale. What if I did that? Alright, weird. They're just like tessellating. Worse and worse. Wow, that's something right there. Okay. So I don't understand how I'm not actually pushing it out. I don't understand that. Scale is model matrix, inverse scale. Is this what I do? I say this. I mean, something is happening here. But it seems like that's just messing with a shadow. What if I did this? And it's just being weird. It just creates this line, that's all it does. This is so strange. What if I do all of these? It's just super weird. Alright, I give up. Whatever. Weird. Whatever. It's honestly just so weird. Alright. So, redoing all of the terrain around here. There's a lot to start over. Also, like, what is this? This doesn't happen in the test world, but it happens here. These really clear lines on the terrain. It is just the terrain, right? If I hide the terrain, do I still see it? I still see it. Is it fog? What can I turn off until this goes away? It's fog. Okay. Yeah, like it only appears when you're actually high up. Which is really weird. Whoa. Oh. Is this really just aerial perspective doing that? Yeah, it's weird. I feel like that's just somehow a bug. Like, what causes that to happen? Why does it look like that? It's crazy looking. What makes this happen? I'm just gonna turn off fog for now because that's just broken and it doesn't look good. I will just do it myself later at some point. It's totally bugged. Aerial perspective is just totally bugged there. All right. Do I still have the map? Nope. How can I do this? I mean, I guess my idea here is I probably just make a second terrain. And I just start trying to copy it. Turn off shadows for it. I can turn down LODs, reduce mesh size even more. I guess I can actually just turn up LODs. It's fine. Mesh size is the real killer of FPS here. And then the other issue is the height, because I want the mountains to, you know, not look this terrible this high up. If I just check the heights, it's at 170 meters. That was the highest point. I guess it's like right here. 180 meters, I think, is the tallest point. Should be that. Yeah, like 180. It's the highest point anywhere. Right. Okay. So what this means is I would take the terrain. So if I have from like, actually, yeah, what is the lowest point that I get to? At the lake at -8, and have terrain way back here. Yeah, so let's say -16 to 180 is my height range. But I do want to offset that a bit, so I still favor the terrain near, I guess, like 10 meters for highest precision. So I guess what I could do, I guess actually what that means I should do is really just take some of the heights that I know I want the best precision to be near. So that I could drop that to like 16 meters. So I could take the whole terrain, drop it by 16 meters. That doesn't really improve the precision up here, I think. At least I don't think so, but I think it's probably okay. Yeah, if I look at how the lines go, this area doesn't look too bad. It's getting really bad up here. So if the difference between this one and the top is like 16, okay, it's not. It's like 100 meters. Yeah. Okay. I could drop the whole terrain by 32, so that gives me negative 32, positive 32. Where's like a 32? I mean, over here is where it's getting... I can see a bit of grain there. It's not so bad though. So this would be at 0. Which means the ground would look like essentially like that, but in the other direction, over here. Which is probably okay. This spot might... I'm not really sure. Let me just try smoothing this out and seeing. I'm flattening. Smooth. Alright, I just want to see what this spot looks like. Yeah, so I don't see anything. I don't see anything there. It just looks perfectly smooth. Okay. So yeah, this is like 32, so this would come down to like 0. Wait. This terrain over here would be at nearly negative 32. Yeah, let me say negative 32 is going to be the 0 point. That should give me the best precision in the play area. So 0 would be 32 meters up, 32 would be 64 meters up. Yeah, alright. So here's what I do. I'm going to go and bring this down to like 1 LOD. Actually, I'll just do this so I can see. Alright, so this is the whole terrain, but like a really abysmal level of detail. That's in fact the minimum. Okay. So now, if I were to create a new terrain 3D, okay, we still have some good FPS. But I think this has no regions technically. Load in this, load in this. All right. Why is the other one gone? Why is the other one gone? Why is the other one gone? Can they not share materials? Oh. Is it a thing where, like, if there's two, it doesn't render one of them? Okay, this one's back. All right. But is this one gone? Oh, it just doesn't have any data. Well, yeah, it just doesn't have any data right now. Okay. Let's call it New World. Okay. And yeah, then I will just add these regions are larger than what I want. Maybe that's fine. Yeah, maybe now I should think about how scaling should work. I could go for 255 region size and then do 0.5 vertex scaling, so now I have a ½ meter accuracy. I could do that. You know, I think I'm actually good. I think I'm actually probably totally fine though. Yeah, I think I'm actually just fine. I think tessellation is probably going to be a good idea. It's got to be like a better way to render these tiles out though, I think. And then yeah, I think I should probably just also jump up to a larger region size, so I have fewer files. Because the other one is 128. So I double this, I get like a quarter of the number of files, right? That's what it should be. I could also do 512. Then I possibly end up with areas that I just straight up won't need, or too many areas that I won't need. I guess in that case, then I could do holes. No, because then because even if there's a hole, it's still the file size, is what I'm thinking about. What's better? Fewer large files with some extra area that I'm just not using, or more smaller files? I'll do 256 for now, and I'll go ahead and tile that out. Where's the 0? This should be 0 right there, I think. Let me also go and drop this to like an abysmal number. Oh, that's awesome. Why does it look like that? Why does it look like that? Crazy. I was just trying to make this one like transparent if I could. Name that terrain old. And since I'm placing it, I guess I can go ahead and place it in a better location. Like right beneath Dynamic Day. I think it's a better place for it. Alright. And I guess what I'll do is I'll just make it stretch out to roughly the size. And just make it a big square. Then I can delete what I don't use later. And honestly, I think this side I should probably go out further. Okay. We got the big square. It's pretty much centered. Okay. So the first step is I'm going to drop everything, I think, by 32 meters. So something at negative 16 will go to negative 48. 0 goes to negative 32. I feel like that might just be too far. I might just say drop at 16. Nah. 32. I'm going to drop the entire train by 32 meters. Can I translate this down? I cannot. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Whoa. Okay, that was weird. I don't know what that was. Okay. So there's my 0 point. Should I even be doing this? Maybe what I could do is I could just keep it in 32-bit, and then as part of release, I shift everything down 32 meters and then 16-bit. I can't really just do that though. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. I gotta fix the window. 1 second. Okay. How much is this? Because I believe the resource file is not even compressed at all. So I should just be able to go look at it right now and see how large this is. What data this takes up. Right, everything says 5 kilobytes, which I just don't really believe. Yeah, so most of these, some of them are 2 kilobytes, which is kind of crazy. I'm assuming that's probably like at the middle of the ocean, or the middle of the lake, yeah. So let's say... Yeah, some of these are 6 kilobytes, some of them are 7 kilobytes. Okay, so it looks like I've missed some of these, maybe. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for the whole thing all at once. Really, 5,008 enough? Okay. All right, what do you think about 10,000? Okay, something's going on here. It's not actually getting larger. Yeah, okay, I think the limit is actually 4,000. Yes, definitely limiting me there. All right. All right, I've got the idea. So I think what I do is I make it so that when region data is loaded, there's just some initial information at the front that just says, what's the lowest point? Yeah, what's the lowest point? What height is the lowest point at? Like, what does 0 map to? And then what's the range of the whole thing? So that way, when we load it in, when I eventually do a conversion to, like, you know, compress it and, you know, keep it nice, it essentially just normalizes it, so I have a 0 to 1 range, and then it just adds that offset, or it multiplies it by the range and then adds the offset to the value. So then in memory it's working with 32 bits, but on disk it's 16-bit, and in fact it's really good precision 16-bit because it's from 0 to 1, right? So if I have a tile that just goes from 100 meters to 150 meters, the real data there is actually just a 50-meter difference. Yeah. That's my plan for the future. That's how I can fix that. So for now, I'm just going to make everything back to 0. Yeah. And I'm just going to click and reset all this so that every single file is just default 0. Because I just looked at the files, a lot of them were 5 kilobytes, and then some of them were like 7 kilobytes, which means there was some like extra data or height data that got left over. Yeah, that's my plan. That's how I will overcome this. And that could even be a commit to the real thing. Because like I said, we're just saving the offset and then the range. So we can still store it as 16-bit. It just means if one tile, one region is from like 0 to 200, then you have, you know, the imprecision of that whole range. But, you know, most tiles are just like, the deviation is not, you know, 100 meters the whole way through. All right, save that. I'm going to check the file, see if they're all like 5 kilobytes now. Cool, they're all the same size now. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I guess probably the first thing I should start with is getting the lake put in there. So if I bring the lake, I can just kind of cut out. I think I had it go down to like -8, so I'll just do that. Oh, jeez. You know, let's go actually to -12. Because if I don't really have to worry about range, the lake should be pretty large. 12 makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna need a huge brush for this, I guess. Okay. Alright, now I want to get this island here, and honestly, I think at this point, that's all I really needed. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like freehand it from here, I think. You want the biggest pieces first? So I've got this chopped out. So now I think I want to clean up the edges of it. So I will do I guess some smoothing around here. So it doesn't look so harsh. I think I could probably go ahead and turn this up so I can see. All right. Let me bring this down a bit. Okay. So now what I'd like to do is, I think I probably want to use the hills to try and blend the edges better. So I can't really go over 500. They get distorted too much. So I'll say let's go up like to 8 meters, 50% strength, line to view, show texture. And I guess at this point, this is where I want to go and make it a stamp. Make it stamp. So let's go ahead and prepare this so I can edit that. Okay. So it should be source, toolbar. Tool settings is what I want. So tool settings, somewhere in here. I want to do it right after the height selection thing. I can find that. Uh-huh. Okay. Take height from the terrain. There it is, pick height from the terrain. So I want to say right after here. Add setting. Name. Stamp. Type. Setting type dot checkbox. List, main list? I guess everything is on main list, so I don't even know why that's there if everything is on main list. Literally everything is on main list? Okay. That seems redundant. Default. False. And then flags add separator. No, I don't need anything else. It's just that. Unless I have to say flags. Oh, I guess I need tooltip. Okay. So then I probably want to find this. This is only mentioned one time. Okay. Right, so I guess the question is, how do I know when to show or hide these? Show settings. Show settings. Okay, so it's probably tool. Okay. Show settings to show. Here we go. Height. Invert. Invert. Size, strength, height. Brush size thing, height, height picker, invert. Okay, well, it's definitely this one. Stamp. Okay. And then somewhere it should be like operate. There it is. Operate. Oh, mouse motion. Mouse clicked. Start editing. Editor start operations. Operate. Stop. Where's the brush? Okay, Alright, well, I have tool settings, show settings. On setting changed. If it's a button, whatever. Otherwise, emit signal setting changed. Setting. Why is it written like that? Why did we write it like that? That's just silly. Setting changed. Tool setting, setting changed, connect to on setting changed. Invert's not even there, is a weird thing. Invert's just not there. Set brush data, tool settings, get settings, brush data. For key and settings, keys. Somehow I need to know a UI brush data? UI brush data? It is UI brush data. Okay. UI brush data stamp. Okay. So here I check whatever UI mouse motion operate editor is operating. Stop operating. Okay, so here's what I do. I call operate when I click, and I'm gonna check if UI brush data stamp, then I immediately say editor stop operating, stop operation. Otherwise, if editor is operating, stop operation. Okay. So when I click, if I have stamp, I immediately call stop. And then in mouse motion, I mean, I should just kind of say, yeah, that's like it, right? I just say start and then stop, and then it won't be operating anymore. Is that really all I have to add? Okay, so I do have to reload project though. There's stamp. Okay. So I should be able to click and then none of my problems. Those are my problems, but not related to the other thing. And then I'll just click in here and then click and then drag. And it's only happened once. Perfect. Okay. Stamp is now a stamp. If I turn it on. Wonderful. All right. Height to 8, strength 50, so it should bring it up to halfway there to 8. So at negative 12, halfway to 8 is like just underneath the bottom, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so here's what I was thinking. I would just do like this, essentially. And maybe I should clean up the water line, actually. Yeah, you know, the water line I let go a bit crazy, so. All right. Wait, did I say negative 12 or negative 10? Like what? This area's just like lifted for some reason. Odd. I'm not sure why. Oh, I guess that's part of the smoothing that I did. Yeah, that's probably just the smoothing. All right. Yep. I guess really, yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do like 80%. See how this does. Right. But I think I probably should smooth it out. Stamp is turned on. Okay, so it's only available there. Perfect. Okay. Okay. right? Okay. Mountain one's not very good. I could use terrain. That looks kind of nuts. Maybe I don't use that. No. Vegetation? That does something interesting. Smoke. Ooh. Smoke. Smoke. Well, okay, maybe not the whole way around. Or maybe the whole way around. Nah. I think probably what I do is I just increase the gamma a bit. And then I'm going to make this larger. And a little bit higher strength. And I'm basically just gonna like spin my camera around as I go. Okay. Right. And then here's where I could use something like terrain 4 as like a cut into it. I give 12 and then strength 10. Something interesting is happening here. Though, it's probably too much. I think I wanted the river to kind of hit over here. But yeah, this is just too much. This one's too much. This might be it. Okay. Yep, then now this has to be smoothed out. That one is way too close to the water. It's fine. I do better when I think I make better stuff when the map is just already there. I don't want to work like saying, oh, I gotta like fix the lake now because I just brought it too close to the cabin. No, that's not the right way to go. Fix the cabin to make it further from the lake. Okay. Alright, so that's probably good for the edges. And then once I really get down to it, I will make the edges have like a nice bank or whatever to them. Okay, now I'm gonna ignore the center of the lake and the island for the moment. Now I'm going to get the mountains in. The mountains are going to be huge. Maybe the first thing I should do is probably do yeah, I think probably like get the whole place to have like a ramp from here up to there. So that's gonna look like doing, I guess, just square one. Turn that off. Why is it? Weirdly rotated. It's definitely just rotated, right? Yeah, why is it rotated? Whatever. Right, so essentially what I want to do is I want to have a ramp from here to there. So here I want it to be -16. Let me get stamp 100. Bam. And then up here, let's do, I guess, just 16. Bam. So now I do something totally crazy. I guess I go 1. Actually, I guess I probably set this as like a lowest value as I can get it. Ramp, not drawable. the size. Max that out. From here to here. And now I wait. I did save before I clicked this, right? Because this could freeze permanently. It might mess with the lake too much. Yeah, I might mess with the lake too much. I probably should have. Alright, well, I'm just gonna wait it out. It's probably gonna take a long time. It's definitely gonna take a long time. Right, you know what? I regret doing that. I regret doing this. I wish I didn't do that. Alright, let's hope that I saved the terrain before I did that. Let's hope I did that. Because I actually regret doing that. I don't want to do that. Well, that's what I get. Being stupid, I guess. Alright. It wasn't even that hard to get that to happen. This is just after I did smoothing, I think. So, yeah. I think I had these like 200, and I did like 50 or 90 probably. Height, negative. Height to 0. Stamp. Smoke. Align show. Gamma 1. Okay. And actually, increase that a little bit. Bam. Okay. Looks good to me. And then I think I do like terrain 1, terrain 4. Yeah, terrain 1. High to negative 12, 50 power, 100, stamp mode, click. That is probably too much. 40. And in fact, I think I actually probably want to go the other direction. Yeah, probably want to be going this way. Yeah, okay. Whoops. Let's do something a bit stronger here, like 60. I'll actually do... Yeah, stick that through. About 100. Yeah, that's just too much. Alright, just go to normal. And now for the smoothing. Too much. So this one did not turn out as well. What did I do wrong this time? Maybe my brush wasn't large enough. Yeah, let me see if I can undo and go back. If I can go far enough back for this. Okay. Because this looks kind of good because some of these places that have, you know, like these beach spots have appeared, which I actually like. One sec, gotta fix the window. You know, it's actually stand-up time. It is stand-up time. Oh, there's one right there. You got some over there. Okay. So yeah, that didn't work out. Let me do this. So I'm gonna save that. And I want to work like this. This is why like a layer system would be awesome. If it had a layer system, I could just start a new layer and just start editing on top of it. And if I don't like it, I can undo or delete or whatever. All right. Let's do git add train data new world. What's changed here? Terrain. What? What is that? Yeah, okay. Just got really dark. Stage this one? Yes. Yes. No. Yes. No. Actually, I think I'm just adding the whole... Never mind. I'm just adding the whole thing. Add, scene, world. All right. Train data world changed? I don't know why that changed. All right, but there's all the tiles. We go up to 8. 7, I guess. Okay. So I should just be able to say git restore terrain data new world terrain at this point if I do anything that I don't like. I'll even save it a few more times to make sure that's actually there. Okay. And I guess I can even add all the brushes in. And I can add in these things. And then I can add that. Okay. All right, let's get this better. So maybe I'll look at terrain 3 instead. And then yeah, I think I needed a much larger brush than I was using. Let's see what that looks like. If I say 50, then 1 drops down like 6 meters, right? So that actually looks pretty good. All right. I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's going so much further out than it looks like it is. Like I can't even see pixels over there in the top left, and yet it like goes way out there. Alright, I'll just stick with that. I'll just do this one in a couple places. Yeah, you know, I'm not... I don't think I'm really feeling this one. You know, it's probably good. It's probably great, actually, and I'm just afraid of it for some reason. That's all for that one. Let's do this one. Maybe I should go the other way. No. Wait, that one's actually pretty good. Right about here. 40. Okay, that one's good. Right now I'm getting fancy. This might be too fancy. Okay. I'm getting somewhere here. I'm really getting somewhere. Um. Hmm. Yeah. Not bad. There. Yeah, okay. Is this too much? I don't know. Let me look at it. Where's the truck? Um, I will disable this, so hopefully it just doesn't even run. Set this terrain. Go away. Turn this off. Grass. Collision 5. Right, and then I actually have to add it to a group. To add it to a group, I have to add the groups doc. Sound grass. And I can close the doc. Yeah. So in theory, I should be on the new terrain, and hopefully it runs at a good FPS. I just have to drive over there. Whoop. Okay. Interesting. I was not expecting to see that. Disabled. It's funny, I have it turned off and yet it's still processed, which is strange. Not sure how that was possible. It simply should not have run. Because that's a process thing. It calculates collision as part of a process thing. Alright, interesting. Can I just drive off here? Okay, so the fake terrain is still very much here. I am very confused how it's here, because I've turned it off. And yet it's still on. It's still producing collision. Very strange. Very strange. Alright, there we go. New terrain. Can I make it... Oh. Tight squeeze. Alright, what does it look like around here? Before I've done any smoothing, which I will need to do some smoothing. Pretty good. That spot could probably be raised a bit. Yeah, that spot probably should be raised a lot, actually. Because it's quite shallow here. Which it should be shallow there. Alright, can we... messing around. This spot is going to be worked on. Worked on more later. I guess I could at least make it look nice first. I don't know. Alright. I'm really glad I can flip this over. Really happy about that addition. Yeah, so I think I need to make it more shallow. Right next to the cabin. More shallower. And then I think I'm pretty much good. And I just need to do a little bit of smoothing. Maybe I don't do smoothing. Maybe I just say forget smoothing and only do it if I actually really know that I need to do it. I think I should do a bit. I mean, let me just jump out and look. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe just right at the edge, I should smooth it. And then I can leave it. Don't know. I 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 just don't know. Yeah, so right here I want to make it shallower. So if I want to do that, then what I can do is I should probably use smoke. Make this a bit larger. And then do height 0. And then do probably 50%. Bam. Let's do maybe like 60%. Yeah, okay, that's a dramatic change. All right. And I will refrain from smoothing. I will refrain from doing that. Right, so now it's going to be the really big stuff. I want to start with the mountain over here. Is my cabin camera still over here? It should be. Mountain camera. Preview. That way. Right here. Okay. Terrain. Let's do crazy big. Crazier, in fact. Height. I was going up to like 180. Let's do, I mean, I'll just see what like 200 looks like. Strength. 90. Stamp mode. And click. This is a part where I should have saved. And like really made sure. Okay, so I've got... Whoa. That's weird. All right. I'm going to save and commit this. And I think for now, I'm even just going to leave it as... No, I'll do everything. I'm just going to send it. Well, I mean, I can commit and then... Just as a saving point, I guess. I can roll back one piece at a time if I need to. Okay. Okay, let me actually do this a different way. Let me... I just want to do the terrain. I don't do anything else. So I'm going to say... I can do the brushes too. So I'm going to cut... I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to do all of it. Okay. And here's a problem that I know I'm going to have. I'm committing this, and I'm going to hit, like, save, and suddenly, like, 10 of these regions are going to be different. So I'm going to reload the project, and then save it. Thanks for following. Throve away. To use Arch? I am on Arch, yes. Open this up, save it again, and it's going to tell me I changed like 10 more regions or whatever. Ready? Yep, I changed all of them, in fact. Every single one of these changed. Alright, cool. So... I don't know why it does that. Am I in 16-bit? Oh. It's fine. I didn't make anything large yet. It's fine. I'm going with like -12. I pretty much haven't lost any precision. But I definitely should have turned that. I don't know why I turned that on. I should not have had that on. I had a whole big thing about how I was going to make it, I was going to compress it later using a smarter method of saving this data. Why does it think this is... Because I did change it, actually. Whatever. Okay, now, this time... What changed in world? Oh. Right, yeah. Alright, what's actually changing right now? Oh, that broke. Oh, that's cool. Whoop. Alright, I'll get rid of that. Okay, but now this time, I reload the project, and it's going to change every file again. One sec. Okay, I just opened it and I hit save, and it's going to be like, oh yeah, we just changed every file. It's different. Crazy, it didn't actually do that. Okay. Send it. Okay. Alright, yes. So... it really... I kind of just don't believe that. That this actually breaks and starts to pattern again. I want to look at this closely. I want to see, like, if it's every vertex or what. It's so hard to see. I almost can't see it in wireframe. I can barely see it like this. It does look like every other vertex, though, is like wavering up and down a little bit. Okay, so... oh, right, and then because it's... yep, and I can't undo that. Whose fault is that? Terrain 3D or Godot? I say both. Alright, 3,000 is too much. Can I get 2,000? Can 2,000 happen? It looks like no. 2,000 cannot happen. 1,500. Still no. That is just sad that I can't go like past 1,000. If I had a higher resolution brush, I can make them happen. I don't think Hill can make it to 1,000. Yeah, this one's, I mean, just the brush itself is not very good because there's all these, like, pockets in it. Hill 2 is really not that good scaled up. Hill 1 does better. Tough. Tough. Because I can't get... I mean, these are supposed to be foreground stuff, right? These are like... this is the part of terrain that you can reach. Alright, I think I want to do an experiment. I'm going to use hill 1. I'm going to stamp this like several times over here at different rotations. You know what? Even I can't actually use it. Throw in a mountain 1. Why not? Experimenting. Then I would take terrain 3, 0, and I say like 10%. Click. Yeah, that did like actually just nothing at all. 30%. One. Okay. I feel like I just crush it too much. I mean, that's just not right, you know. That just isn't correct. Should do like that. And that's also still like, that is still not right. I do like this, but then there's just nothing happens there. We go like 50. Thing is, I can't do this. I can't actually do this because there's gonna be terrain here, right? I can't. I have to put the brush directly on top of it to not touch anything else. That just looks so chunked. All right, honestly, it's more than just it's more just that mountain 1 is already pretty obliterated. So adding more onto that is pretty bad. That's just too powerful. Yeah, I just can't, I can't break this apart. I mean, that's not bad. That's definitely acceptable. Alright, let's go drive on that. It doesn't look that bad. But I don't know if that's good. So the process there is I just clicked the hill 3 times. I did a mountain 1 in the middle, and then I applied like 2 cuts on it. The terrain is kind of nuts though. But I mean, this is big scale stuff. So I can make it... I could make it look better at a smaller scale as well. I could do like... I mean, I don't even know how... I can't even imagine what I would do though. Trucks, moving vehicles? Oh my gosh. This is really hard to drive. GTA style. This is more like Halo style. My wheels are just like forever spinning on this. Is it really that steep? Okay. I guess it's actually just really steep and I can barely drive up it normally. Oh, please. I think I might, you know what? I think I might just be missing the physics material here. Goodness gracious, you never finishing the game? Let's get you anything. What do you mean? Why am I never finishing it? Can I get stuck there? Can I not? Why is it doing this? Oh, okay. There we go. I'm making pretty good progress. What am I stuck on? What's happening? What is happening? What's stop. Stop the vehicle. Stop the vehicle. Okay. Now reverse. What is going on? There's like some invisible collision here that I don't... Okay, I think maybe I went too crazy with that. Maybe I take off absorbance. Like, the terrain is very weird. You could finish it, not the polishing I've seen so far. It's looking like a low 2030. Like, what do you mean polishing? What do I have to polish? Please flip. What is happening to the terrain? Okay. What is this one set to? It doesn't have one. I don't know if you noticed your vehicle has cartoon chowder building style. It does, yes. It does have that. I've not heard that comparison yet. That's a pretty good comparison. All right. Okay. All right, it was the physics material being like crazy. I can't get onto this road. Alright, I can just go around it. Didn't you know that had that much knowledge of Paul? I mean, I had watched it. I'm just redoing the terrain right now because I think it sucks. Too much of it sucks. And also there's like really horrible aliasing over like 100% of the terrain that I can't fix without like actual weeks of smoothing things out, and then that smoothing is actually just gonna make it look worse by the end of it. So I fixed the aliasing, at least up to like 4x scale. Beyond that, the aliasing comes back and it still happens. So like I can take a brush image that's like 200 in size and scale it to 1000 and it still looks okay. The rotation was actually the big killer. Okay, so maybe I just shouldn't use rough. I can't drive up this. I mean, models are nothing, to be honest. Models are like 1 day at most per model. Can I walk up this? I think I can. No, I definitely cannot. I mean, maybe I should try. Alright, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this. I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe I should actually figure out how to get the background terrain in. So I can have that. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That would actually make sense. I can do the lake. But making these like foreground mountains, I can't really do that without being able to see the background mountains there as well. Otherwise, it's... I may just not match it. Like, this might be... It might even just be that this area is not good for this because there's, like, another mountain right behind it. So then it's like, what's the point of having this? I would just make this, like, flatter. Or maybe there's nothing behind it and it needs to be taller. I don't know. But that's difficult. I would prefer if the terrain could just be there. That would make the shadows work. I still have an issue with radiance maps. Just being bad. I have like sky glow on objects that shouldn't be receiving that because they're totally obscured by terrain around them. And what can I really do for, like I said, if this was a layering system, if I could just actually physically place these things and drag them around, that'd be awesome. I don't like the whole thing being a ball of clay. And sometimes I can't even undo stuff. Maybe I should just look for something that lets me do that. Because it would be great if I could just have like a list of nodes, really, that were just applying. And I would have this be a node here, and I can move it around, and I could even apply like a mask to it to say, all right, well, I want you to be here, like this, and that would be cutting into it, but then it'd be cutting into stuff over here. And then I could say, all right, on top of that, mask it out so we're only applying the mountain or whatever. I don't know. I can imagine so many ways that things would be, I think, easier from, yeah, easier. Just literally just easier. I mean, technically I could do that. I could get into like some kind of image editor that I save the image, it flattens, and it loads into here. Whatever. I just feel like I suck. I feel like I need help. How can I get the background in here? And like actually cast shadows. That's the big thing. I could bake it as a mesh. Bake it exactly how it looks right now. With like all the LEDs. Literally baked into it. And then throw it in here. I don't know, this is making me sad. So I just tried getting in there and I can't figure it out. And I just want to do stuff. I don't want to sit here for hours figuring out such a small thing. That would, but at the same time is also, I just think, really necessary for me. Like, there's no way I can make all this stuff around here and now I broke it and it's not going to undo correctly. Okay, so I don't believe I did anything with the terrain. Yeah, okay. Okay. Also, this part was like, this part is messing with me. What's Hill 1 good to? Hill 1 honestly just sucks. Okay, nothing happened there. Hill 1 actually just sucks. It's only good for really small stuff. Alright, let's try this. Whoa. Well, maybe not so bad. Do that again. It's too rough. Okay, I can't do that. Okay. Like, the park is here. It's supposed to be flat. Oh, what have I done? Yeah, just undo. Just undo it. Maybe I just try. I just try Hill 1 again. I'll make it even larger this time. And okay, that's too large. And then like, okay, not strength 100. Let's do 50. And then I think I want to make this rise 20 meters. So then I would say 40 from 0. Actually, yeah, I see what's happened here. How did I just apply it? I think I just applied it like this. Yes, let me apply it the other way. Alright, I got too close to the lake. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm messing with the lake right now, which I just went through all of that. Alright. That was my problem. That was my mistake. I did small stuff on the lake, and I should not have done that. That was stupid. You have to start... I have to start with the biggest things first. Which means... I mean, I guess I can, like, try to fix it afterwards. That's annoying. I'll just try to fix it afterwards. Yeah. So we got a bit of a hill there. Now, that looks okay in there. I guess go to hill 1, and I will, I guess, see what this looks like before I commit to it. I need to go for a higher strength. Oh, hill 2 is the one that's garbage. Never mind. Okay, cannot use that one. terrain 6. I'm being lasered. I mean, like, immediately, if this was a layered system and that lake was its own thing, I could do whatever I want and just blend out next to the lake, and then I don't lose it. But because there's no layer system, this has popped out, and it's not exactly what I wanted it to be. But I don't know. What do I know? I don't know anything. I actually don't know anything. More strength and make this larger. All right, cool. What if I just made this like, what does this actually look like on a big scale? Also, I am supposed to be very careful when I do that, because I could have just added aliasing here. I don't really see it. Yeah, I don't really see anything. Right, I see aliasing. So I need to undo that. Because I clicked off of it, I can't undo it. Okay, it remembered. Oh, I see aliasing there too. Okay. I'm gonna explode. I think I might just actually explode. I can't do it. I think I gotta take a break. I think I gotta take a break, actually. So I just don't like anything that I'm doing right now. I don't like this. I've done the best that I think is possible to fix this aliasing. The only way it gets better is if the brushes themselves are larger. Were created larger. I am already scaling them up using a pretty expensive resize algorithm, but it's supposed to be really good resizing algorithm. And then on top of that, I'm applying bicubic interpolation. All of that's running on the CPU, which makes it just slow to run all this. And at like 1,000 is like the limit. I can go up to 4K, 4x size, which is still not as large as I'd like it to be. Okay. I think what I could do to get around it is go into an image editor and just use, I think, Hermite scaling was giving better results for some of the brushes I was testing it on. I think I could do that. I could go in there and scale all the brushes up to like 1K using that scaling. The alternative, which is what I wanted to try doing, but it's really expensive, is to go into some height map creation tool, finding like a preset for a mountain and just messing around with that. And then essentially just really quickly getting some basic shapes that look nice, exporting those as brushes at a really high resolution. 1K is like the limit, I think, for most stuff before you have to start paying extra. The issue there is that it already costs a lot of money to even use it. They have free stuff, but the free stuff is just for, what do they say? Prototyping or testing, I guess. Whatever the term is for like using the program before you commit to like paying for it. Because the big thing is commercial. I can't use anything commercial without paying for it, or with a commercial restriction without paying for it. I especially can't use it a free version and then use it for commercial anyway, because then I'd be in trouble. Yeah. And yeah, I'm absolutely blaming all my tools. I'm absolutely doing that. I've done the best that I can to make the aliasing go away. It is still here. The defaults are like 128 or 256 pixels. I've already touched up all the brushes so that they all look really nice and they blend well. Hill 1 is just ass. I'm pretty sure it was originally like a 64 size image or wherever they got it from. It has really horrible pockets on it. I think I even applied a smoothing. I even applied like a smooth filter on top of it and then re-exported it and rescaled it, and it still sucks. So that one, this one I still can't even use. Maybe I am too... I don't know. I was going to say maybe I'm being too serious about it. But I think I should be as serious as I can be about anything. I mean, I don't think there's anything that is worth spending less time on because it's too hard to make look, too hard to make well for a game. And I'm just getting upset. I'm just getting upset using this. So I think I gotta take a break at this point. Yeah, there's some other things too. So thanks for watching. I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully with a solution to my problems. The aliasing, like I said, can definitely be solved by these brushes just being bigger. There's also even style things with these. You know, Mountain 2 is like really fantasy. Peak 1 is just silly. I don't know who thought this was a... Like, what is this? Peak 1's got to be like a really tiny image. I haven't actually looked at this one yet. It's got to be a small image. I mean, like, because this stuff is definitely meant to be applied on like a huge scale. Like, I would even say this is still too small. And like I said, like, this is peak 1. Like, this is just weird. It genuinely kind of feels like someone probably went in there on here, sculpted this up, saved it as a height map, and then threw it in there as a brush. Because this just doesn't look... This looks like a mound of sand. This is what this looks like. It does not look like terrain. Alright. That's enough. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye.